The Dental Brief is brought to you by Omni Premier Marketing and the amazing guests who bring wisdom and advice that you can put to use to take your business and practices to the next level. Find us on Facebook and join the conversation. Get ready to grow because we are kicking off the next episode in 3, 2, 1.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Dental Brief. I have a guest who I want to express a lot of thanks to. I'm always grateful when doctors share with other doctors and come on our program to do that. This particular doctor, Dr. Rajpal, actually recorded once. We had some technical issues with the software, so she's back on. Dr. Rajpal, thank you so much for coming back.
Of course. Glad to be back.
Glad to have you here. We're going to start from kind of the beginning. How'd you become a dentist? Why'd you get into dentistry?
Okay, so I am the daughter of a surgeon. My sister was a doctor, so I was just following footsteps naturally. I was on the pre-medical path. In college, I really wanted to do art and medicine, and I didn't really know how to blend the two of them. But I think I just really wanted to work with my hands because even though my dad was a doctor, because he's a surgeon, he was so crafty with his hands. And my mom was very artistic, painted a lot, and just was very crafty as well. So I could not find anything in medicine that was really pulling me in. So I was on the path, but I didn't really know which direction to take on that path. And then I met this girl who actually dropped out of med school and became a fashion designer. And she told me that maybe dentistry would be a good fit for me. And so I started moving in that direction. And it's literally been the perfect fit for me because I'm using my hands all day long. And so I just switched onto that path in the middle of college. And yeah, I've been loving it because I'm continuously using my artistic eye and making things constantly with my hands while I'm still in a medical field and having a great rapport with all of my patients.
That's awesome. Tell us again, the practice is Beverly Hills Dental Arts.
Yes.
Your website for people who want to check them out is bhdentalarts.com. How long ago did you do your startup? When did you start up your practice, or when did you buy your practice?
So I was building a client base in another guy's office for years. We were meant to partner, but that just never happened, which at the time was very discouraging for me and really frustrating. But it ended up being a blessing in disguise in the end because it made me upset enough to actually get the courage to leave and create my own thing. And so the timing of it was pretty insane because I really decided to absolutely leave in January of 2020. And the deal started kind of formulating and going through right before COVID. So I got my loan 2 days before COVID.
Jeez.
And they weren't even sure if they were going to fund it or not after that point because it was just such a crazy time. And I was terrified to be starting something in such an uncertain time. It literally felt like the world was ending and we had no idea what was going to happen. But luckily, it just all ended up still going through. It ended up panning out. We opened the first week of June 2020. And it was crazy here in Beverly Hills because there were all these riots going on. So every day of the first week, we would get a call from the city of Beverly Hills telling us that we had to close at 12 p.m. So it was like an exciting start, but then everything was it was just a funny energy at the beginning. But we also were one of the only things that were open at the time. So it was a place where people could come and actually socialize. So It ended up actually being a fun place to go to, the dental office. And we've kept it fun ever since.
Yeah, I just said that to someone the other day. I said after COVID, I think a lot of people wanted just to get out and go, and the dentist was like a great place to go, right? So that definitely happened. I think we're seeing some fallout from that now. You're in Beverly Hills. It's a very competitive market. You have very high cost of living within an hour in any direction of your office, which obviously you have to pay your team members. They have to be able to afford to live somewhere. And I know that your practice is thriving, which is fantastic. with how difficult it is with all of these circumstances, with being in Beverly Hills, which is very competitive too. A lot of people know that, and having an aesthetic focused practice. What are your secrets? What are the hacks? What are some things that you can share with other dentists that will help them in their journey to running a successful practice?
Honestly, I just kind of didn't know any better because I did my residency here at Cedars-Sinai. And so I was always in the Beverly Hills area. It's just always been my home. I've always lived here since I moved here for residency. And so I was always associating in this area. So aesthetics and cosmetics is just a natural part of practicing here. I just naturally was inclined to practice at that level. I always wanted to practice at a high caliber, be able to offer the best quality of care I possibly could. And so it's just, this was kind of naturally where I ended up. I actually was considering buying a holistic office in Brentwood for a period of time, but that ended up falling through as the owner ended up passing away. So I just
Mm.
ended up back here. So I think I was just meant to be here no matter
It's
what.
just, yeah, the universe was calling.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But it's really just sticking with your own vision and your own style, just letting your own nature bloom and blossom so that this is your essence, your creation. So I just think that naturally the style of patients that you attract or the style of environment that you create, it really is a reflection of yourself.
sure.
And so that's what I love about being able to create like this dental home. It's really my energy and my vibe that's kind of permeating through it. So I think it's nice to have your own practice because you are able to fully express yourself. It's a little harder when you're in someone else's space
Sure.
and functioning under their vision. So
Yep.
I think ultimately it's nice to get out and have your own creation when you feel like you're ready for it. It took me a long time to get the courage and feel ready to do it, but I think it's very liberating when you actually do step out.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And I think that's some really good advice. How's staffing been for you? Has that been challenging? Have you found some ways to make it easier?
Yeah, I mean, COVID was a very, very weird time to be hiring staff. Everything really fell apart. I think hygienists were being told not to work in offices, or I don't know, it was just it, all the information was just very crazy and misleading for
Sure.
a lot of people. So I think the whole hygiene demographic changed a lot. I think a lot of the older hygienists just decided to bounce at that time and retire. And then there was shortages of staff, shortages of quality staff, super ridiculous pricing for a lot of them. So it just staffing just went bananas with COVID. And then patients didn't know if they should be coming or not. Like nobody knew what to believe or what they should do. It was just such a confusing period.
Right.
So yeah, just staffing and patients and everything, like it was just a very weird time. And I really think that COVID has changed everything all over the world in every industry. It's just thrown it off balance. And
Yep.
I don't know if it's ever going to go back to what it ever was before. I think the younger generations have a very different idea of what a career path and work ethic is kind of compared to previous generations, just because everything's shifted so much with
Sure.
social media, AI, our digital interconnectedness. So it's just like the traditional work model is kind of thrown off as well. And
Right.
I think it's really disrupted the mentality of all employees in every industry.
Last question I've got for you today. We're in a time where I think dentists are seeing their supply cost go up due to tariffs and other reasons, inflation, what have you. Are you seeing that? And how are you planning on handling that if your supply costs go up significantly?
I mean, there's not that much you can do about it. I haven't fully noticed it yet. We'll see if it actually starts to happen. I mean, during COVID, we had to deal with shortages of a lot of
No
supplies,
supplies, right? Yeah.
and it just led to people trying to hoard a lot of things, like
Right.
over ordering and just hoarding them because it's this fear of not having enough.
Sure.
But yeah, I don't know. We'll just have to roll with it. I don't know how fair it is to increase our fees or what we'll have to do to accommodate that.
Right.
We'll just have to see what kind of impact it actually has.
Yep. Makes sense
And
to me.
we'll see how things settle. I mean, the are kind of ridiculous, so I don't know if it'll really actually end up holding for the long term.
Yeah.
So
Yep. Crazy times. One more time, the website is bhdentalarts.com. Dr. Rajpal, thank you so much for coming back on the
yeah,
program to record
of
again. Thanks for
course. Yeah.
sharing with us today. And we'd love to have you come back on. So anytime.
All right. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for listening to this episode of The Dental Brief. If you found it helpful, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and share it with a colleague who could benefit. We're here to help dental professionals like you stay ahead of the curve, one brief episode at a time. You can find more episodes and resources at thedentalbrief.com. You can also join the Growth Minded Dentist community on Facebook. Links are in the description. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and thanks for being part of the Dental Brief community.